Wonder Woman is a new movie about Kim Kardashian. It's actually a shortened title for the original title, I Wonder How This Woman Still Has a Career. Wonder Woman is the latest movie in the DC Extended Universe, because apparently DC Cinematic Universe has too many C's in it or something. I don't know. Well, anyway, it's directed by Patty Jenkins, who previously directed Monster, and stars Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, Connie Nielsen, Robin Wright, and Lucy Davis. Wonder Woman is kind of a big deal for a few different reasons, really. First, it's the first DC Extended Universe film to be really critically acclaimed. The rest of them had mixed to negative reviews. This, positive. It's over 90%. It's actually, last I checked, rated higher than Logan was rated as far as the tomato meter, right? Tomato meter? The damn thing they use in Rotten Tomatoes that has a percentage on it. Alright? That thing. And it's also the biggest female-led superhero film really ever, and possibly the only good one. Previously we had Catwoman starring Halle Berry, which was terrible. Then there was Elektra starring Jennifer Garner, and before that, the only one I can really think of with the main lead being a woman was the 1970s TV movie of Wonder Woman, which was just a failed pilot for a TV show before even the Linda Carter one became somewhat successful. It only actually had like 2 seasons, so it's weird that it's held in kind of high regard to this day when it wasn't really on very long. But I'm kind of rambling, as I tend to do. And because of those things, I think the movie might be being overhyped a little bit. Not to say it's bad, it definitely isn't bad. It's actually a very good superhero film, but I feel like some people might be setting the bar a bit too high. It is not the best superhero film ever made, but it is a very good one. The plot isn't the most original. It follows a lot of the same beats that Captain America: The First Avenger follows, and part of that is just kind of, it's how it's gonna happen. I mean, it's set in World War I, Captain America was set in World War II. You have a kind of a ragtag team, which you're gonna have. If you try to have her be just complete in infantry, it would just come off ridiculous. So you'd have to really kind of mix it up and have more colorful characters, and it works really well. The characters work pretty much just as well as they did in The First Avenger. It really does hit some of the same major plot points that Captain America hits. And I think that's really all I can say without going into spoiler territory. One of the things that I would say is done better in this film is that it tells a story that feels like a bigger journey. It starts out on the island with her as a child, and it shows her kind of being brought up and in seclusion from the rest of the world. And she's being brought up very innocently in a lot of ways. And once Chris Pine's character, Steve Trevor, shows up, it kind of brings the real world in and reality in. And so she has to go out into the real world, so it kind of seems more like of a journey, and there's more of a character arc to her. She starts out very naive, and I actually really like that about the character. She doesn't really get the kind of the gray areas in what's wrong and what's right. She just thinks in kind of black and white. And it's nice to see her stand up for what she believes in and really take a strong stand and just do what she feels is right. And even though she might be naive and that's why she's doing the things, it sends just a really good message. Like, we need to help these people. Well, we can't for this reason. No, these people need to be helped. And I'm just going to do it. And that leads specifically to one of the best scenes in the movie, which is where she crosses no man's land. And it's shot spectacularly. The visuals across the movie are really great, actually. And they use slow-mo, and some people might kind of be turned off by that. I think it was done really well. It reminded me of when I saw it in 300 for the first time, that it was used to great effect. It's not overdone, I don't think. It's used to emphasize some of the action. Overall, the action scenes are great. And besides the fight scenes themselves, there are a few different shots that are just great as well. There was this one scene where you think they're going to have a sniper battle like they've done in a few other war films, but instead Wonder Woman just gets launched up there and just destroys a church tower. And it's freaking awesome. And as I was mentioning, the movie is really beautifully shot. It starts out on her island, and it's very colorful and very scenic. And it tells the kind of backstory to some of the characters in the film and her people as a whole. And the way they do that looks awesome and it's very interesting. It's not just a flashback. They go about it a different way, a bit more artistically. When they go off the island, they go to London. It's very dreary. It looks very wet. And the idea is that it's bringing her into the real world. And I really liked how they kind of had that juxtaposition between her island and the real world, especially in a time of war. When it goes to No Man's Land, it continues that even more so. So it really further emphasizes, just where everybody's at, what she's really getting into. The villains I also thought were handled pretty well, and also kind of ballsy to put Danny Huston in a movie as a military figure. That dude was in X-Men Origins Wolverine. And it just seems like the last year and a half has just been like, let's just redeem that movie. Okay, I know Deadpool was terrible in that movie. We'll give him an awesome movie. I know Wolverine, Wolverine wasn't really bad in the movie, but, it wasn't a good Wolverine movie. Let's make probably the best Wolverine movie there is, which is Logan. And then let's take Danny Huston, we'll put him in a different military role, nobody will care. Everybody will love the movie. It is just kind of a ballsy move, and I like that. Some of the villain things came off a little cartoonish, but I kind of rolled with it. You gotta have some comic booky things in a comic book movie. Without going too much into detail about the villains, I think it was one of the stronger villains I've seen in a comic book movie in quite some time. And the last fight, I really liked it. Some people may bitch that it goes into the kind of too much CGI territory of like Batman v Superman, but I don't think it really falls into that. I think it's handled much better than that movie actually handled it. Lucy Davis plays Etta, which is a pretty small role in the film. She's essentially the secretary of Steve Trevor, but she nails it. She's funny at every moment she needs to be, and she's great. She's a comic relief character, but a comic relief character done well. You may also know her as being Dawn Tinsley, who is the British version of Pam Beesly on The Office. Or Pam Beesly's the American version, because that other one came out first. I know, but either way. Robin Wright also had a small role in the film. You may know her as Princess Buttercup, or Jenny. She had a small role in the film, and she nailed it. I loved what she did. Again, small part, but she just, I don't know, I believed that she was the character. This just kind of hardened general leader of their army. I believe, never for a second did I think that she wasn't this badass. The thing I really liked about Wonder Woman herself is she is just a very strong character, very independent character in the film, and she wants to do what's right. She doesn't care what you're saying about that. She's going to do what she feels is right. And there's a part at the end where she kind of gives a little bit of what her motivation ends up being, and while it does come off a little cheesy, it makes perfect sense as to what her motivations would have to be. I really like what they did with her character, and it's a character that just kind of gives you hope in the movie. And the way the movie ends, also a very uplifting, kind of hopeful message to the movie. So overall, I wouldn't say that Wonder Woman is the best comic book movie ever made, but it doesn't need to be. It just needs to be a good movie, and it's absolutely a good movie. If you go in there expecting the best thing ever, something that's going to top everything else and be completely original, you're probably going to be a little disappointed. But if you go in there with an open mind, just thinking you're going to see a good movie, you're going to see that. Wonder Woman is rated A-. So given that Wonder Woman is a movie all about a heroine, name your favorite movie about drugs. So given that Wonder Woman is a movie all about a heroine, name your favorite movie heroine. My cheat answer would be All the Women in Death Proof, because they're awesome and they make Kurt Russell look like a bitch. But my non-cheat answer would probably be Ripley from the Alien franchise. I recently rewatched Alien and Aliens because I got on a kick after I watched Alien Covenant. Ripley is just awesome in those movies. She starts out very much someone who's sure of herself, and she is not afraid to say what she thinks in the first movie. But then she grows into just a total badass by the end of the second. So again, name a movie heroine you really like. Make your mark below in the comments section. Please like, share, and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. The title is shortened from the original title. I wonder how this woman still has a career. Zing. I wonder how this woman still has a career. Because she got no talent, right? Is that okay to say? Am I going to be bashed for woman hating on this one? Directed by Patty Jenkins, who directed Monster, starring Starley, and starring Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot? Shit.
We're here with Gal Gadot. Here's Gal.
Hello, my name is Gal Gadot.
And starring Gal Gadot. Wonder Woman is the latest movie in the DC extended universe because apparently DC